That's recording. Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to do a quick pedal board rundown of my new board. I just got a new board sent out from Mono, so thank you so much, Mono, for sending that out. Love it. I got a new board because I had some more pedals I wanted to start using, and there's a few more I'm probably going to buy soon, so one day I'll add those and have the nice soft case with it, so it's just a lot easier to carry. Throw in the truck, done with it.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
And so yeah, I just want to do a quick run through. I've taken this video like 3 times because I ramble so much. Hopefully we're not going to do that this time because I'm going to lose my mind if I record this again.
Or I'm gonna lose my freaking mind!
But start out super simple. My bass is a Nash P bass. It's a PB57. Love it. Based just on how a 57 would be. Has the baseball neck, everything. Love it. Strings I use are the D'Addario NYXL 50 to 105 round wounds. And so, love those. They're great. Recommend them to everyone. Favorite strings. So, D'Addario, you know, if you want to sponsor this video or something. But I'm just going to do a quick run through of everything I use and do my best to explain it. So, from start to finish, I am going into my Polytune, just a good old buffered tuner. I like the screen on it because it's easier to see at night because I'm blind, honestly, on the stage. On strobe mode, it's great. Then I'm going into my Cali compressor. And let me show you what my signal is just with everything off. So here it is. P-Bass sounds great, even with nothing on it, just besides the compressor, sounds great. I'm going to show you my drives first, and then I'll do my octaves, and then my extra effects. So my first drive, and I pretty much leave this always on, is the DCX Bass by Origin Effects, same people that make the compressor. It's like my first stage, just adds like the tiniest bit of hair to the signal, but love it. Like I said, super simple, nice little dirt on it, and pairs well with everything. And then my second drive that I just bought is the Kilt V1, but honestly, the Kilt V2 is great too. I'm just kind of bougie and wanted the first one, but don't be like me. Be financially smarter than I am. And shout out to David Funk because he posted a video with his, and that's what made me want to get one because like, well, I need that now because it sounds really freaking good. And why not? Love David, great guy. He's sponsoring this video. No, he's not actually. So I'm doing the Kilt, and then I'm running it into my effects loop on my stomp, so it holds a little bit of low-end retention. I think I have the effects loop blend at 40 or 50%. So I'll show you without it and then with it. And then here's with it. And so I love it because it just adds just a good bit of grit to it. And it's like a nice second stage because I guess I would count my last stage of something I want for like loudest as the Microsynth. And I just have the Kilt on just the overdrive setting, but if you put it on the fuzz, it sounds great and I love it, and I'll probably use it for studio stuff, but I think if I use this in a service, I would get fired. Exactly. Because I would do that stuff if I would use it in the service because I couldn't help it. So yeah, I just keep it on that setting. And then I'm going to go into my effects real quick. So my first octave, and side note, usually you should put your octaves as early in your chain as you can for bass, just because you don't want anything making it harder for it to track. So it'll track a little bit cleaner. You won't have so many dropouts, and it also helps if you don't play like super low in your neck. It depends. Like you can usually hit an A, like that's what I've always stayed towards. But even then, it just depends the song. But here is my Bass Octave Deluxe. And you could kind of hear the G, but that's the sub-octave note is just unintelligible. It's just because you hear the actual mixed-in bass. And then I'm going to my Microsynth. And that's like just the big boy, big last chorus of a song sometimes. I usually use it more on like fast songs than anything. Just because if you're hitting like a really slow song and turn it on and doing whole notes, it's a little bit too much sometimes. But I still love it. So. And what I've come to love is actually using the Kilt after both of those different octaves, because it just adds an extra little bit of oomph that I really like, and it also kind of almost fizzles it out for the Microsynth just a little bit more. So here is with the Kilt on. But just super strong, and same thing with the MXR. But I just love using octaves when I can. Sometimes you need it for a song. Sometimes it's better just to use dynamics and playing up high to switch up parts, but that's up to y'all, whatever you want to do. And then the last piece on my board, or the last two, are the Stomp and the Noble. The Noble is just a tube DI preamp. It could also run all of your pedals, but I chose to just use a Zuma because I'm running the Stomp off of the Zuma, and so I figured let's just run everything off the same power supply except the Noble because it has its own separate power. And I just have a little bit of an EQ boost for bass and treble. And then, so going back to the Stomp, I'm using an OC2 patch that I have, and then also a chorus, and then the third one is to trigger the Kilt, obviously. Here is the OC2 one, and I already broke my own rule about not putting octaves too late, but it kind of works with this, so just don't be like me, follow rules, or don't. It's music, who cares? You do what you want. But here's the OC2. It's like a very like deep house bass kind of sound, and it gets really close to the actual like old OC2 that Boss made. But I like it just on slower songs, just stuff I want to keep real open with whole notes, and just very synth bass sounding. But love it. Super cool. And then after that, the only other thing I have is a chorus, and I just love using that anytime I want like a more chill moment or just a cool texture. Say we're like flowing, it's really ambient. Sometimes you don't want something really cutting super hard, but so it's a cool way to add kind of some like movement to your signal a little bit to just in the mix, switches it up. Kind of gets an 80s vibe to it. Really fun. And I just love stacking it with different things. So I'm going to show you what I stack it with a lot. Pretty much everything on my board. So with just my DCX on, like I love playing chords with it. So just cool, chill signal. And then even with the Kilt on, it's same thing. Really cool sound to it. And same thing with like playing fifths, and doing it with a pick always sounds really cool. But just cool different textures, and I always like doing chorus with any of like if I want to emulate a synth bass, because most synth bass does have a chorus on it a lot, just to kind of smooth it out just a hair, make it more I guess fluid is the word, or organic. Organic is the word I'm looking for. Get it closer to sounding like an actual instrument instead of just like a keyboard. But I like using it on my effects too. Same thing with the stacking all the drives. Just killer sound all the time, and all the other octaves I have. But yeah, it's super simple board, meat and potatoes kind of thing. I loved having a bigger board so I could just add more pedals as time goes and not have to keep switching stuff out constantly. And Please don't pay attention to all the wires because I'm going to be cleaning that up eventually, but I just needed to get this ready for the weekend and waiting on more dual lock and everything else to come in through the mail. So let me know if you have any other questions about what I'm using, how I'm using it. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and go Cowboys. Unfortunately, they suck this year. I'm going to stop this video now.